My name is Markus Beermann. Honeybees kissed me in the crib. I present you Health for Bees, a bees health startup company. We have a huge loss of species on Earth. Our environment, soil, water and air, are massively polluted by our modern way of life. Parasites and pesticides reduce the immune system of the superorganism bee. Artificial beeswax enriched with PSM damage the development and longevity of honeybees. Bees are suffering massively. A ticking time bomb. Challenges in future food productions like food supply chain traceability, compliance with food standards, provide clean and healthy foundation of human bees and honeybees will be used in beekeeping in the near future, called great strides. Health for Bees will support bees, humans, environment to guarantee a future which is worth living. 2016. Europe saw millions of deaths due to toxic plastic. You might be thinking, hang on, what did I miss? If you didn't hear about this incident, it's probably because of the small and inconspicuous nature of the victims, honeybees. But I experienced the full extent of the scandal. In 2016, I lost all my hives, around about 4 million worker bees in total. The reason was substandard beeswax in the form of foundation sheets. Following extensive research on my own initiative and own expense, I found that the wax originated from China and was cut with artificial waxes that are toxic to bees in order to hold down the price. I lost the basis of my income. This incident was a turning point for me. I took time out to travel abroad and see how counterparts in other countries go about doing with these things. Returning with plenty of new ideas, it was clear to solving the problem would mean talking matters into my own hands. The beeswax scandal is not the only difficult facing bees and beekeepers. When you have been a beekeeper for almost 30 years as you are only too aware of how much things have changed in recent years. 30% mortality rates are no longer a rarity. By comparison, 3% was the typical annual figure back when I first became a beekeeper. But terms like the vanishing of the bees or varroa mite have entered the public awareness. And yet, the smallest members of the food chain, our honeybee, are the most essential being on Earth. Bees act as a kind of bellwether bird. If they are doing badly, it's often a sign of other environmental problems. Bees are airborne data collectors. Bees collect honey, pollen, water within a radius of more than 3 kilometers. In this collection are data from the whole environment. Plant protection agents, heavy metals, treatment agents, bacteria and viruses are enriched by the bees in the hive. Depending on the type of materials collected, the analysis finds them either in worker bees, honey or beeswax. Lipophilic substances are bounded in beeswax. Hydrophilic substances, mainly in honey, but also in wax, don't wonder. Up to now, it was a great challenge for the analysis for clearly identify, mark and allocate collected beeswax samples. In order to be able to work scientifically in a comparative analysis in the origin matrix of beeswax, which is used for foundations, must be determined. This is time-consuming and expensive because beeswax varies greatly from region to region, from bee species to bee species. It is impossible to guarantee a consistent matrix for data collection on beeswax foundations. After I lost all my colonies in 2016, I helped beekeepers to save their colonies from dying by exchanging the fake beeswax to new plastic foundations. I wasn't lucky about this. Bees and plastic. No go for me. All the more, I was surprised how healthy the bees developed on this foundation. I was thrilled. Bees strong as 25 years ago. But plastic? It is common to use old-style plastic foundation pre-waxed. The composition of wax layers and the plastic is unknown. I contacted a big US manufacturer to import foundations into the EU. This failed due to EU customs regulations. We shouldn't have to declare the product for what is really used. We rejected this cheating. We rejected undefined similar products from China too. Now the question was how to fit our bees with good foundations. Then Heike Holzum, co-founder, and I came up with the idea to produce the best biopolymer foundations on the world ourselves. May 2019, the project Health for Bees launched. Foundations with a completely new matrix that allows worker bees boiled her own natural structure. Optimal vibration frequencies for bee dance. Cell diameter and cell depth corresponds to the natural brood nest and are able to be varied by the bees. Foundations with a precisely dedicated composition are perfect able for use at analysis and varroa breeding science. A biopolymer plastic that is 100% compostable. Reusable foundations, quickly coated by foam, protected of wax moths, termites and ants. Less energy and no hot water used to separation the wax from the foundations, including theft protection. Boiled-in membranes for analysis of environmental data. Clean bee products harvesting. Financial available for friends all over the world. Feeding an AI with collected bee data, easy to handle, can be used in all hive systems. Varroa treatment can be inserted. We are surprised that nobody before us had the idea to use a completely new matrix and a biopolymer for foundations. After our successful prototyping at Bee Research Center, Holleta, Ethiopia, we now can present you the results of our successful work. Patent is pending. We are very proud and would like to thank all of you who are pulling together Health for Bees. In representation of all, I like to name Mankeplast, Canto, Scala, Haniel, Wild Design, Schneider und Behrendt, State Economic Development, NRW, Germany, Impact Factory Duisburg, Gexi, Dr. Irenius Henning, Professor Dr. Witt, last but not least, Dr. Rainer Dickert. Please all of you help Health for Bees to develop a lovely future for humans and honeybees now. Before I forgot it, 20 years ago I have already invented the first oxalic evaporation. That now is admitted worldwide. Health for Bees will present you shortly a trailblazing invention which will lead us up to the worldwide legal registration as an animal medicine treatment. But this is another story to tell.